So one of my subscribers reached out to me and told me he's just crashed his beloved BMW M140i. I thought to myself, you know what, I'm gonna give you a hand, but he wanted me to not only rebuild the car, and as you can see, it's got quite a lot of damage, he wanted me to add a few mods as well, which we're gonna get into later on in this video. But for now, have a look at this. The chassis is gone, the front end's gone, it's a proper mess. Alright guys, so now that you've seen the car, it's got a lot of damage in it. Do you think it's an easy fix? Let's see. So the car has got some chassis damage, so I've got to pull and fix the chassis. I've got to replace the front end panels, check and fix the radiators. There's no coolant in the system at the moment, so I need to see if the radiators are actually good. I need to figure out what's going on there. Upgrade the speedo clots to Shadow Edition, upgrade to Pro Nav from the basic crappy business navigation. So those two things are gonna really transform the interior. And once it's all done, once the car is back to looking 110%, I'm gonna be activating CarPlay because I've got a brand new unit to fit into that car. So that is the plan for the car. Let's get started. So before I start any mods, I need to get this car looking like an M140 again. So let's get the car in the garage and get to work. Can't get in the car without this. Although the car's got a flat battery, once I gave it a jump start, the car started right up and the suspension seems to be okay. Now, as soon as I got the car in the garage, the boys from OPI Mechanics turned up, and you're about to find out why. OPI, thank you. Crafty Craig! Yeah, gotta love a bit of craftiness, isn't it? Alright, you guys, so the boys from OPI Mechanical Services, they've come down, they've got 1, 2, 3, 2.5 go-karts, and hopefully when I see them again, they're gonna look and sound amazing. I trust you lot with it, so once you're ready, give me a shout. Thank you very much. No worries. Thank you very much. Yes? OPI Mechanicals, guys, if you're ever in Southampton, make sure you check them out. All right, you guys, so we've got the little M140. It's not even a little M140. This is a mega build because both the chassis arms are gone on this car. So where we're gonna start is we're gonna strip down the front end and I'm gonna get it on the jig. Have a look at this. The jig is at the back. Get the jig in place, get the car on the jig, and we're gonna be pulling the chassis legs, making sure everything's nice and straight, rebuilding the front end, retrofitting CarPlay, retrofitting Pro Nav. It's gonna be crazy. Hope you enjoy it. Roll on the video. The little T-Moves toolbox is still gas strong. 15 quid I paid for this. No, 18 quid. Get this off really quickly. So that is a result. This headlight, I thought this might have been broken behind. I can't see any cracks. Happy days. So I just continue stripping down the front end. I'm keeping a note of all the damage as I go ahead. Now everything's bent out of shape and it's under a lot of tension, so it's really difficult, but we keep it moving. Woo. Alright guys, so now that it's up, the little auxiliary radiator looks alright. The fan looks okay, there's no damage under here. I can see coolant, but that's why I wanted to check the rads. I got a feeling that the rads are right, but I want to double check and see exactly why there's water leaking down there. Quick one, I was going to strip down the front end, but I'm not going to strip it down anymore because the front bumper reinforcement bar connects with two little bars to the chassis legs. Both chassis legs have gone over to the right. If I remove that, it's going to be under a lot of tension, but I want to pull them back to the correct specification together. And to do that, I need to get the car on my jig. Now, BMW's connects to a jig like this, a pulling jig, slightly differently. So I've had these little adapters made up from the guys over at Riverside Metal Fabricators. And yeah, they've saved me hundreds of pounds. So I'll show you how these works. Let's get the car on the jig, do a bit of pulling, a little bit of jigging, and then we're gonna continue to strip down the front end. Okay, so we managed to get the car on the jig, and I'm telling you, a jig gets the job done, but it literally takes ages to get set up. So everything's on, it's solid, it's all tied down, and I went ahead and set up all the chains, and as you can see, we're ready to do some pulling. So I'm gonna stick you on a time lapse. I'm gonna start to pull. We need to pull the chassis leg a little bit to that side. So we've made it to the first major repair. Like I said earlier, we're pulling both chassis legs together to the correct specification. If you remember when I rebuilt my BMW M2, it's pretty much the same chassis on the front end here, and I'm using the spec sheet that I got for that build to make sure that this one is all lined up. Off comes the wing, but have a look at this. After a little bit of jigging, the chassis leg is looking very, very straight, and I'm a happy chappy. Guys, we got 2 chains like Mr. T. Check this out. Take a look in there, that's looking pretty straight. If I come back, the front end is all straightened up on both sides. So I've disengaged the chains, and what I've gone ahead and done is I've removed this wing, and that's because tomorrow I'm gonna come back in and I'm gonna be pulling this top chassis arm. So it's getting super late at the moment. What's the time? Let me show you. So it's 10:30 at night. I'm gonna wrap up and I'll see you in the morning. Following morning, I came in and it's basically a bit more of the same. But now that I've got 2 straightened chassis legs, I can go ahead and remove that front slam panel so I can gain access to that top chassis arm. Now I've sped it up here so you can see I'm pulling and manipulating that top chassis arm back into spec, and I'm making sure that I measure it all up. Okay guys, so it's actually about a week later. I've done quite a lot of work on this M140. You've seen I've pulled the chassis, I've reassembled the front end to a certain degree, but have a look at this. This is the, what's that noise? Woo. This is a critical stage of this build because the first upgrade has been fitted. Have a look at this. We went ahead and fitted the CS-style bonnet onto this car, and it just transforms this car. It looks so aggressive. I went ahead and painted this little plastic trim gloss black, and it just looks really nice up against the white. Let me know what you think of that. Another thing that we're going to be sorting is the customer wanted to upgrade the system on the interior. So I've got the clocks here, and this is that professional screen, much wider. And yeah, let's go ahead and get these fitted onto the car. I've got to do a bit of coding and programming. It might need a flash, but I've got everything in-house to do that. That's it, 2 screws. There you go. So that's what the old clocks look like. And these are Shadow Edition clocks side by side. That's it. After a little bit of fidgeting, it does go in. So guys, as you can see, the new clocks are in. It looks really, really nice, but nothing is working. If I rev it, nothing is working, and this is what I said, it needs coding. Right, you guys, have a look at this, coding complete. And as you can see, it's all working now. With the clocks fitted and coded, all I had to do is swap out that old business unit and replace it with the NBT Evo unit. And as you can see, these retrofits are like for like parts, they're just a better spec. Once I fitted everything, it all came on, and this is the before and after. Next up, I had to make an order to my local BMW parts store. There are a ton of miscellaneous parts that I needed. However, it took 1 week for them to get expedited from Germany, but they're finally here, so let's get them onto the car. Guys, we're almost done. This is the last package from BMW, which are the headlight top adjuster mounts. And it's these little plastic bad boys here. Let's get these on the car. And then I'm taking the car for a little drive with no bumper. You'll see why. Ooh. See what I mean, Ollie? And now that headlight could be adjusted.
Back, yeah.
You can adjust it to the correct position, but I need the front bumper for that, and we need to go get it. Now we're in business. So guys, we've done quite a lot, and to show you exactly what we've done and so that I can keep a track of exactly what I've done, have a look at my new whiteboard. BMW M140 to-do list, pull fix the chassis, done. Replace front end panels, done. Check and fix the radiator, done. Upgrade the Speedo clots to the Shadow Edition clots, done. Upgrade to the Pro Nav, done. Activate CarPlay, we're gonna be doing that at the end of this video, so stay tuned. But for now, let's continue fixing these. Alright guys, so we've made it literally just next door. I've come down to see Paul, the main man there at J&P Auto Garage, and he's done an amazing job on the front bumper of this car. We're gonna get it fitted to this car right here. And as you can see, he's getting started, but check these shots out of the brand new bumper for the M140. Take a look at this thing. I dropped this off to Paul last week. He sprayed it, fitted a new lip, fitted all the grills, parking sensors, and I also ordered a new wiring loom for the front parking sensors, and it's finally time to get this thing onto the car and make this car look like an M140 again. Paul makes all his paint in-house, and I'm really happy with the finish. Went ahead and replaced this lower lip, and this is what I love about the salvage game, man. This car came in looking horrible. It's gonna go back out looking amazing. So let's go ahead and get this on the car, but I've got one more stop after this because we have to activate CarPlay. But before all of that, we need to make it look like a car again. Got Ollie with me again. Cheers, Ollie.
Hello.
You've seen all of these new components that we've got. Everything has been buckled down. The new bonnet is looking amazing. All the front end components have been done up. Paul, what is this contraption?
It's called a Moby lift. It's basically just packed up all with.
So I left Paul to try to sort out his Moby lift, and I'm just replacing the parking sensors and the broken wiring loom on the front bumper before fitting it onto the car. Finally, you got it sorted. Man, I need to get one of these. Look, the entire car is up in a matter of seconds. I'm in on my side. So guys, the parking sensors are working, everything's working on the car. The front end looks amazing. I can't wait to show you. Stay tuned, I've got one more stop. We're gonna be activating CarPlay right here, and then I'm gonna show you the full breakdown of the final product on this car, and believe me, it's gonna be sick. Alright you guys, so I'm at my next stop. I've come down to Southampton to check out the guys over at CS RETROFIT. It's giving me so much headache trying to get the CarPlay activated. That's because the VIN in the donor NBT Evo is different and it needs a special cable, O-bar cable, which I don't have. And they're doing something really important when it comes to CarPlay activation. They're doing something really nice for charity. Let's go meet up with them and see what I'm talking about. Guys, we got Shaquille here from CS RETROFIT. What have you seen so far? Tell me. Don't hold back, because I know that. What have you seen?
Cut USBs, OABR's not pinned correctly.
Yeah.
But we're just gonna take it all out, redo it all.
What's the adapter that you just installed?
So this one, a lot of people usually just cut these and they rotate it.
Yeah, that's what I've done. So I used to do it, but you
can either change the whole cable, but obviously cost effective wise, you can just buy these adapters.
Okay, perfect. And you keep all of them here in house?
Yeah, we get them all in house. So so it sort of saves the cable as well, and you can always revert it back if you ever want to take the old unit and put the old unit back in.
So guys, if you need CarPlay activation, actually you tell us, what do you guys do here at CS Retrofit?
So we basically can retrofit any factory option that's available at the time of manufacturer.
You know what? I've got my M2, I'm going to finish that soon. I never even spoke to you about this, but I saw on your story one time that the cars come with rear view camera.
Yeah.
And I saw that you retrofitted the 360 degree camera.
Yeah, so things like 3 Series and 4 Series, 5 and 6 Series, you can put the surround views on there.
Yeah.
And it ranges all the way through, like.
Okay, I'll definitely be in touch.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
Okay, and in terms of today, it's all about the CarPlay activation.
Yeah.
And once you activate that, is that going to get the navigation working for the customer?
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll change the VIN number on it, get rid of all the component protection, add all the relevant FSCs, do an update if it needed to get full screen Apple CarPlay.
Yeah, full play, full screen.
Full screen Apple CarPlay. Pretty much that, really.
Okay, and finally, tell us about your charity work when it comes to CarPlay activation specifically.
So we wanted to give something back. So what we've done throughout October is basically a lot of people charge sort of a range for CarPlay activation.
Yeah, I know.
So we say to people, you know, they can make a donation, doesn't matter any amount it is, it could be whatever they can afford.
Yeah.
If they come down to us and they've got the right hardware, we'll activate it for free.
Okay, and what's your charity that you want? So I'll be donating today, so what's your charity?
To be honest, it's pinned on our post, so it could be Macmillan, stroke organisations, cancer research, cystic fibrosis.
Nice.
Or even one that you wanted that's close to you.
I really appreciate that. Like, a lot of people don't know this. Before I was in the car scene, I was working in the NHS. I used to work in mental health. I used to do a lot of work with Macmillan. And Mind is another mental health charity and stuff. So I will definitely be making a contribution to one of them.
No, that's good.
All right,
man. Thank you. Man. Cheers.
So guys, there you have it. We're doing big business, big things down here. I'm gonna let my guy Shaquille continue, and we're gonna get this all working. CS Retrofits have got everything in-house that you're gonna need to retrofit almost any factory option to almost any BMW. So first, he's rewiring the O-bar cable, and then we're adding that all-important Wi-Fi antenna, which is needed for wireless CarPlay. Just have a look at all his gear. He's got everything to get this job done. Now that's it for the wiring process, but there was another task that needed to be done on the bench in the back, and I'm going to explain that now. So guys, just a quick FYI, if you're retrofitting the Speedo clocks, Shadow Edition, or any clocks, and they're not the original clocks for your car, you need to get them virginized. So Shaquille's just gone into the back to virginize the Speedo clocks that I retrofitted on this car. He's already sorted out the O-bar cable. After this, it's just a bit of coding, and hopefully we should have CarPlay, so fingers crossed. I'll catch up with you guys once it's all done. Alright you guys, so I've been watching Shaquille here, and he's done his thing, man. If you ever need any of this, anything to do with coding, retrofitting, come down and see him. CS Retrofits down in Southampton. I am proud to announce, have a look at that, Apple CarPlay with the touchscreen, but that's not all you did. What else did you do?
We also virginized the 6WA black panel cluster, so we have to take it apart, put it on the bench, remove the VIN numbers and everything else, and then reprogram it, so yeah.
And you've done the digital speedo.
Yeah, and then you got
you coded the temperature for the oil, which is important when you've got a performance car like this. But this is what I'm excited about. Apple CarPlay, screen mirroring, and yeah, that is all good to go. Shaquille, thank you very much.
No problem, man.
Bro, guys, don't forget CS Retrofits. I'll put all the details down below, or you should be seeing it on the screen right now. All right?
Cool.
So when I got this car, it was in a very bad way. The front end was completely demolished. It had a broken bonnet, both chassis legs were bent, as well as that top chassis arm. It needed a complete rebuild. The customer also wanted some spicy mods, so we gave it the SN touch, and take a look at this car now. The front end of the car was rebuilt by pulling the chassis and fitting all new components. Take a look at this CS style bonnet, which makes the front end of this car look super aggressive. we fitted a new front slam panel, and off camera I went ahead and I fitted these bad boys. These are all the under trays, plastics, and that all important ambient temperature sensor. On the interior, we fitted the 6WA Shadow Edition clots and that brand new MBT Evo system, activated CarPlay, and coded in some other cool features. And all of that has come together really nicely, along with a really tidy paint job on the wings, front bumper, bonnet, and now it's been transformed from a busted wreck into this. It looks mean, it looks clean, and it's ready to hit the streets. So guys, there you have it. Honestly, what do you think? When this car came in, it was a mess, and you saw the entire process. I want to thank all the companies who got involved in this project: CS Retrofits, J&P Body Repairs. I couldn't have done it without all of them, and I couldn't have done it without you guys watching. And speaking of watching, I've been working on this car for a long time. I've condensed the entire build into one video for your viewing pleasure. So please, if you've enjoyed it, press the like button. And if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, press the subscribe button. This car is gonna get cleaned up now. Just the finishing touches. I'm gonna hand it over to the customer. And in the next video, I am working on that. And if you don't know what that is my 2019 BMW M2. Once again, that's gonna be another long episode. I've been working on that behind the scenes for the last couple of months. And I've got something special coming for that build. All of this is coming up. Next time, we're back on the M2. There's tons of new parts, tons of new mods, tons of work. We're sorting out all the damage. Have a look at this. It's getting into primer. We're prepping for paint. And if you watch it towards the end, we're getting racing. That's right, guys. This is going to be a big episode. Tons of hard graft, tons of hard work, and loads of fun at the end. But that's not the only thing I've been doing. Do you remember this car? Well, I went ahead and got the engine out of there. I sent it off, and this thing came back looking unrecognizable. And I can't put a fresh engine into a rusty old shell. So I've got something special coming for this build, and I'm going to show you all very shortly. Stay tuned to see what all of this is about. So you've seen it all. There's not a lot more to see here. I hope you're excited for the M2 build, and I've got a few more things up my sleeve. Like I said, I'm back. I'm gonna try to put regular content out once again, and this is where we're gonna head off. So you know the saying, like I always say, keep it moving, and I'll see you in the next one.